2017 marks the 75th anniversary of the Kokoda campaign and will probably be the last significant anniversary for surviving veterans who are now in their early 90s. Rugby League is proud of our strong relationship with PNG, and we are honoured to remember those veterans who served at Kokoda. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Allianz Stadium for the 2017 NRL Anzac round between the Sydney Roosters and the St George Illawarra Dragons. Please welcome our teams onto the field, led out by Corporal Mark Donaldson VC and former Special Forces Commando and Defence Care Ambassador Damien Tomlinson. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for today's remembrance ceremony, and we ask that you do remain silent throughout. The Anzac Day Ode will be read by RSL State Councillor Bill Harrigan. Corporal Andrew Barnett will play the last post, which will be followed by a moment's silence and the rouse.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them, lest we forget.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the national anthems of New Zealand and Australia, performed by Defence Force musicians Jeff Camilleri and Amelia Johnson.
God of nations, at thy feet, in the bonds of love we meet. Hear our voices, we entreat. God defend our free land. God Pacific's triple star, from the shafts of strife and war, make her praises heard of all. God defend New Zealand.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is built by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every state unfolds Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing unfolds Australia
So the team's warming up again following the lengthy commemorative Anzac Day service. It's amazing, isn't it, how football matches, race meetings, tennis matches, whatever, golf events, they turn from being just a game into exactly that, an event. And here today at Allianz, it's certainly got that event atmosphere about it, and as I said, it could well be a record crowd for this event.
And Ray, sometimes the combatants in those events you're talking about aren't necessarily in the best of form. Well, that's not the case here today. We've got the Dragons on top of the competition ladder coming into this game. Only lost one match this season, that was way back in round 2. Playing some great football against a Roosters side that won their first 4 back in the winners list last week and snapping at their heels. So on whatever day this was going to be played, it was going to be a great confrontation. But the fact it is today, it just adds to the enjoyment and the anticipation.
Players with links to those that fell, those that gave their lives, like Michael Gordon in the number 1 shirt, his great uncle Len Seifleet, the digger from Gunnedah. Michael's waited 210 games to honour him by playing in this special game that we present for you every year. Len was a commando serving in PNG, executed by the enemy in 1943. McInnes. Matt Checken is the main referee. The Roosters kick off the Anzac Day game for 2017, and Packer brings it back just short of the 20-metre line. So the Dragons aiming for 6 in a row. They haven't done that for quite some time. They are the competition leaders, and this is de Bellin with the ball. 15 times they've met in the Anzac Day commemorative game, and the Dragons have won 10 times. Packer again. 2 carries on this set, the initial set. Centre ground. stabbing kick from McCrone. And just going down the leg side, and Gordon has to go back and retrieve. He'll play it now, 10 metres out from his own line. Tupou, been in good form. Phil Gould and Peter Sterling with me in the lofty broadcasting box here at Allianz. Hell of a hike up here. Now Ferguson, he ran for over 200 metres against Newcastle. Tauke Aho, just a couple of metres into Dragons territory for Pearce to kick. Dugan back after a couple of weeks out with that hamstring. So the 9 coverage underway as the Dragons and the Roosters ready themselves to do battle. Brazil.
And a conservative start from both teams. Don't want to be the first team to come up with an error or give away the first penalty. There's the first bit of ball movement we've seen. Dugan got support on his outside in Laffline, playing game number 100.
So here's Widdop, one of 3 men of the match in this corresponding game involved today. Boyd Cordner, Jake Friend, the others. Cordner won the inaugural Ashton Collier medal back in 2013. Friend in 14. Marshall, Benji in 15, and Gareth last year. Ferris Ashton and Bill Collier, World War II veterans, both have passed on, with the medal struck in their memory. Ferguson will play the ball inside the 20-metre line. Friend, the co-captain, sending Wairua Hargreaves ahead. And he'll play the ball in the middle of the ground, 30 metres out from his own line. Now for Cordner, the other co-captain, playing it on the 40-metre line. Liu feigned to catch the ball as it landed with Tauke Aho right on the halfway line. He's across to Peary now, and he more or less chips it down inside the 10. And Dugan comes back. His confidence would be inflated somewhat by the comment from Mal Meninga that he more than likely will be staying with the incumbent. And that would include Josh Dugan. Jason Nightingale. And the sound of the whistle from Matt Checken. Held down too long. First penalty of the game goes Dragons. And a bit of blood there in the corner of the eye. Sideline today, Brad Fittler.
Well, the good thing is there's some rain around at the moment, Ray, so that blood will be gone nice and quickly. She's about 20 degrees. There's a big breeze behind the Dragons at the moment. Maybe look for early kicks on early counts. It's going to be hard for the wingers to turn around. It looks a bit slippery out there.
So the blood will be diluted.
It'll be gone. It'll be gone.
40-metre line down the Roosters' end of the ground. It's gone away to Tyson Frizzell. He'll play the ball 39 out from the Roosters' line. McCrone comes down the short side. Aiken was with him. He got a ball away. It's gone straight through and bowled Frizzell. Picked up by DeBell and gone on to Widdop. And the ball is with Thompson now. He's inside the 30. He'll play it 25 out. 10 in from the eastern side. The grandstands packed to capacity pretty much wherever you look. This is Vaughan having an outstanding season. Former Raider. And the kick off the right foot from Widdop, and Tupou rakes it down, and then he needs help from Kenny Dow. The Dragons had a chance.
The kick looked to be too deep off the boot, but the chase arrived at the same time. Gareth Widdop 20 metres out. Tupou turning. A high jump, but the ball came back in towards the field of play of Daniel Tupou. And all of a sudden that brought the St George Illawarra chaser in Tyson Frizzell back into contention.
Time you run.
Line drop out from the southern end of the ground. Down the Driver Avenue end of the ground, the Anzac Parade end. And Packer it is. Delivers it back to the defence line. 30 metres out. And the penalty again. Hand on the ball. Pretty much just off centre. 20 metres out. We'll take a break. They're going to take a shot. We'll be back in a moment.
Yeah, I know it is, but when they stand up, your hand's still there, mate.
I don't want the contact there.
Yeah.
So the Dragons, with their kicker Gareth Widdop, he's playing his 150th game today. 70 of those for the Melbourne Storm, including a grand final in 2012. He's the season's leading point scorer thus far, but he's missed it. The ball bouncing down into the terraces at the southern end of our ground. So Widdop offline. Taken by Dugan, given to Packer. And Russell brings it back to the middle of the ground. Put down there by Guerra and Friend in the main. Here's Vaughan. Massive man. To the short side for Widdop to try and generate something, and generate he does. Got the ball to Laffey, drops it on the ground behind him. Loose ball, referee steps in, says knock on.
Pulled it towards himself.
So knock on because he pulled it towards himself, which is in the direction of the opposition dead ball line.
This is the second time they've gone down a short blind side. They did it on the right side of the field over here, and because they've got the numbers, Widdop was able to throw the dummy, get through the line quickly onto Laffey. They come again to get him. Laffey tries to get a pass away. That ball's gone backwards. And then they ruled that he dragged it towards him, and that was the first knock on. Watch Laffey here, gets the one arm away. That's gone backwards. And then as he tries to retrieve it, he knocks it on.
So the Roosters, a let off for them there. Corner then slams the ball up against the Dragons' defence and reaches the 30-metre line. Crowd begging for a penalty. Penalty again.
No.
This will be the third of the game.
Off there, mate.
Off the whistle of checking.
Don't have that, mate.
It's against Packer.
The big men collide there. And Packer just gives him a little reminder that I'm going to be here all afternoon. A little bit of an elbow on the face.
The two behemoths. Here's the U. 26 years of age tomorrow, Isaac. Now for Wairia Hargreaves.
This is where we want to see Pearce and Carey combine.
So it's Friend first and foremost, and then Pearce. Here's Guerra. 12 metres out from the line. Roosters attacking, and Friend and Pearce. It's gone back to Gordon. Put down by Aiken. It had to be a complete shot. It was. Kenny Dow plays his 11th Anzac Day game today. Equal most number of Anzac Day matches. Pearce into the corner. Trouble for the Dragons. Not under Nightingale, there's not.
And we're going to get interference here on Blake Ferguson, I think, Ray. One of the St George Illawarra guarders of the man catching the football. I think he just dropped the elbow, dropped the shoulder, I'm sorry. Originally the referee called play on, but he got a call from the touchy.
I've told you what it's for, Gareth. Okay, run him off the ball, mate.
He was run off the ball. You heard from Matt Checken. So Friend takes the tap. And the danger signs go up again for the Dragons. Early in the game, played by Liu. Pearce got it away. And this is the Roosters attacking close to the line with Tate Aho. And now knocked on by Wairua Hargreaves. Advantage Vaughan. Advantage St George Illawarra. 10 metres or 20 metres out from the line. McDonald. Good run from Dugan. Dumps it out the back. McDonald staying alive. Play up towards halfway. Laffey. So McInnes, the number 9 for the Dragons. Here's de Belin. 35 out. Long ball floating to Widdop. He kicks, Nightingale chases, Ferguson underneath it, came back from Nightingale. That could be a try for the Dragons.
Yeah, Joel Thompson.
Joel Thompson, the second rower.
I got no try.
So he said no try.
There was a knock on there, mate.
The question is why?
Well, it looked like it came back from Nightingale.
Kick chase is onside for the Dragons.
It's gone backwards. I think this is play on.
We see that Jason Nightingale touches the ball first. We need to then decide whether it touches Blake Ferguson as well.
So I think what the referee is thinking, that he's touched it, he hasn't caught it, he's juggled it, and whether or not it touches Blake Ferguson to signify a knock on before it goes backwards.
I think it touches him when it's on its way backwards. There.
Yeah.
We see that Jason Nightingale's touched the ball and knocked it into Blake Ferguson. We have
no
a decision
try.
and going to the board.
No try, it's a tight one.
It is a tight one, but in transit, it's come in contact with an opposing player. That's a knock on. No try. He got it right, Checken. He's probably the number 1 in the game at the moment.
Hand over here, boys.
Beautifully placed kick. Nightingale got over the top of Ferguson, but just gave it a little bobble. It touched Ferguson and the Roosters get a let off.
Talking of Ferguson, he's been in everything, hasn't he, just for the last few minutes.
I know they've had more football in the opening 12 minutes, but it's been a really bright start from the Dragons. A couple of opportunities where they've gone very, very close, and the Roosters have spent a fair bit of time working out from their own end and getting driven back like we see there in that tackle.
Tauke Aho playing the ball on his 20-metre line. Wairua Hargreaves. On the other side of the Tasman. Corden showed it inside, took it out towards the 40-metre line. For Mitchell Pearce, and he drives it down to Nightingale. Covered a lot of ground, crosses the 20. Shapes to pass, takes the tackle. Just inside the 30-metre line. And then down to Laffey again. So he's able to get it away, and McInnes points to Dugan and says, you take it. Brad, a comment sideline.
Just saw Tim Laffey offload there. We're not seeing that from the Roosters at the moment. They're getting to their spots. They're doing that down on the Dragons try line. I'm seeing Luke Curio there looking for the ball and looking to get involved. He needs to get involved. He's the only one that ad-libs to the Roosters at the moment, and it's too easy to defend.
Tyson Frizzell plays the ball. McInnes goes away. Vaughan pushes on. Widdop gets it across. Laffey out the back. Nightingale got a dubious pass. It's gone back to Dugan. He'll play the ball 15 out from the Roosters line. Nightingale dummy half. Widdop kick. A Widdop kick going across towards McDonald. Came off him.
Hand over 10 boys.
Came off the Dragon.
We had a few showers of rain before kick-off today, and I walked across the ground early on, and it was a little slippery. It looked like it had more rain than I thought it had. So the passing's a little bit slower today. Hard to get the ball to the edges. The Dragons have done it twice pretty well.
Roosters then working it away from their red zone. 7 of their past 9 they've won against the Dragons, but only 2 of their past 9 Anzac Day clashes have they won. Penalty goes to the Roosters.
And in 2010 on this day, the 2 teams came to this event. The Dragons were on top of the comp. The Roosters were in 4th position. The Dragons won that day. And they went on to meet in the grand final. The Dragons again successful.
So Wairia Hargreaves now. Legs taken by de Belin. Possession 65% with the Dragons. Liu will play the ball on the 20-metre line, centre of the ground. He's gone away to Tauke Aho. He's 10 metres out from the line down towards the northeastern corner. And here is Pierce. Keary, he bats it on. There's a try coming, is there? Oh no! They've made a mess of it, made a meal of it.
Knock on.
I thought they were bound to score. And the Dragons high-five one another. Well, they might.
Well, I think if Keary just gets up and runs, he might have scored. You watch this. The ball comes out. It's batted on. Crikey, it was there for them. It was Gordon, I thought, that likely to score. The ball comes out. Gordon's half through.
Yeah.
I think if he'd have kept going, he'd have scored. He didn't realise he'd pulled out of the tackle.
And Brad Fittler was spot on. It's the first time we've seen Luke Keary touch the football in that 20-metre zone. And straight away something happened. And nearly led to opening points.
This is Aitken taken down by the strength of the Roosters forwards.
Hey, Gordon was through the tackle. He'd broken through. He didn't realise he was only a metre away from the line.
There's Nightingale playing the ball 40 metres out from his own line. Vaughan again, making his way across from the middle, defenders to the edge. Here's Laffey. They're pumping it hard out towards that left side. Now Widdop gets a kick in, it's very high. Tupou stands his ground. Frizzell is going to, yes he is, he's going to win the battle.
Well, watch Gareth Widdop here, who's developed one of the best kicking games in the competition. He thought about going back to the short side. It wasn't on. He had to steady himself. Watch this. He steps back inside. No, it's not on. Steadies himself. Under pressure gets the kick and comes down. Pinpoint accuracy. A yard out from the line. Frizzell follows it up and they muscle him back into the in goal. That's brilliant from Widdop. Absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
Beautifully placed kick. Under pressure. And it was his second option. It wasn't his first thought.
The leading point scorer in the competition. And has re-signed for a further period of 4 years with the Dragons. Vaughan meeting a full-blooded shot from Tauke Aho. Friend in there. 10 metres out, chance Dragons. And here's Thompson. This time. Joel Thompson.
Well, this time he has trampled a couple of Roosters defenders in Aidan Guerra and Jared Wairia Hargreaves. The leg drive. He's having another great season. And he's a seasoned campaigner, is Joel Thompson. And he steps his way through, barges his way through to get the Dragons in front.
Well, there's the try scorer, Joel Thompson. He's been a permanent member of the Indigenous All-Stars game since 2010. A youngster from Ivanhoe. He's 28 years of age now. Gareth Widdop converts, and I might mention Joel won the Ken Stephen Medal for community service last year. He's a lovely man. Brad Fittler sideline.
This has been a tactic of the Dragons for the last 20 years where they'll just pick a half and they'll just send all their traffic down that side. They've absolutely worn out Mitchell Pearce's side. It's Aidan Guerra that missed the tackle on this occasion. But that right-hand side defence of the Roosters, they're going to be doing some work today.
Can you believe 20 minutes have gone?
With us.
You're having a good time. Time seems to fly. This ball has been allowed to bounce, and McCrone eventually gave it back to Packer. He'll play the ball 10 out from his own line. Dugan getting involved. He's big enough to be one of the front rowers anyway, and he's not frightened to get in and muscle his way out, take a bit of work off those big fellows. Play inside the 30-metre line, the big red V. With DeBellin leading 6-0. Try for Joel Thompson. Look at Frizzell run hard.
Yeah, it's a good set on the back of points. McCrone will kick on the halfway. And Gordon collects the ball 10 out. Gets outside his own 20.
Tupou. There's the Metres game, the top 5.
It was a good set after points because the kickoff wasn't advantageous to the Dragons. They let it bounce, and first tackle was made on Russell Packer, only 10 out from his own line.
Liu. Front row forward leading the Metres game. That's a hell of an effort by Vaughan. So they come across for Keary, and he deftly puts a kick down into the corner. Manny McDonald goes over underneath it. Dragons seem to fall all over the park. About 4 of them went down at the same time. Now for Nightingale. 20 metres out from his own line. 22 minutes gone in the contest. Dragons by 6.
You know, it's a real bugbear of mine, Ray, but I still think that you'd almost find a penalty on every kick with players running the opposition chasers off the ball, changing their line to do so.
Well, we actually saw a penalty given for that offence in the case of Blake Ferguson earlier in the game. Widdop's kick is large.
Yeah, touch.
They're saying
Well,
touch.
it's found touch.
Ferguson suggesting that it's gone into touch in goal.
Clock's on.
It was a booming kick. Really fired this out of a cannon, did Gareth Widdop. Ferguson watches it, and it bounces. And he's saying dead in goal.
It's in touch.
That's what Ferguson's trying to tell him. He said it's gone into touch in goal.
Well, the referee called it. The referee said to the linesman, that's in the field of play, it's in touch.
Oh, fellas, wait for it, Tyson.
There's a bit of a lean on the corner post.
It's part of the problem with them. But they are necessary in that situation, even though I agree with the comment that Peter made the other night. Best thing we've had happen probably in the last 8 years. And how many days, according to Fittler? And here they are trying to punch a hole up the middle now. Gordon plays the ball. Here is Taukeaho. He'll play it now. A couple of metres into Dragon territory. They're both really in the running for this premiership, with the Dragons, their nose in front of the moment. Premiership leaders. They've gone past many of the statistics and records they set or didn't set last year. They've done. No, he's able to get it in. Nightingale then takes a really big shot from Guerra. Dugan now tries to circle them.
He makes everything look awkward, doesn't he? What's this? He slips over, he's going down, fingertip, knock on.
Oh, he's knocked on.
Knock on. Knock on. Where's the linesman?
Armour. Leeson Armour.
Excellent stint from the opening front rowers. Paul Vaughan and Russell Packer both to the sideline now.
Tarek Sims is out there. Jumper number 14.
And a double change coming up for the Roosters as well as Widdop again on the short side. Kicks high to Gordon.
Gordon takes the ball, steps away from Laffey, who came down the ground rapidly. Ferguson then brings it out to the 20-metre line. So he's just outside the red zone. Now for Tupou. Puts it back for Friend. Goes to Kenny Dow. Kenny Dow wrapped up 30 metres out from his line. Swept away by Cordner. It's gone to Napa in jumper number 19 off the bench. Play back to Fred. Puts a kick in. It'll bounce inside the 10 a couple of times. Dugan seemed to look up as if to say, where's the dead ball line? And then he decided to better grab this and vamoose down the ground. Here's Nightingale. Just outside the 20-metre line. Kiwi international, reminding me of Canberra Friday week, the test match. Here's McDonald.
That's what I was talking about before the game, the ability of Jake Friend to kick out of dummy half. We've got a knock on here. And that goes back to Friend turning the momentum, getting the football down the other end, and within the next set of tackles, the Dragons have come up with an error. A good chance for the Roosters to hit back here. Just a sloppy play of the ball from Tarek Sims. No, it's not. It's Nene McDonald.
It's Nene McDonald, yeah. He debuted in this game 3 years ago when he was with the Chooks.
It's a tough game.
Talking of Chooks, he dropped that one cold.
I think the Roosters can have some luck bringing the ball to the left-hand side of the field. Gordon should have scored last time they did it. I wouldn't be surprised if they set up and come back this way at some time in this set of 6.
Friend was really out at half-back, first receiver. Napa plays the ball on the 30-metre line. And here they come with number 14, Tedavano, running hard. 19 metres out now. They're coming down the middle. Pearce pushing it out to the left. Carey, no look. Gordon with the ball. It looked pretty similar to what Gus was referring to. Now Pearce hands it over to Cordner. And the co-captain on 5 plays the ball. It's sloppy. Friend got a kick in. Dived on by St George Illawarra. And they get a penalty.
Offside.
They're offside, the Roosters, yeah.
Well, how was Friend offside? How were they offside? Friend was a dummy half.
There you go, Gareth. Thanks, mate. Oh, you're Shorty. Shorty.
Well, his indication was offside.
Yeah, it was a strange call. Good power game, really strong in the forwards.
Sims. Yeah, there is a bloke in front of him who's inside the 10, I suppose. That might be the rule they applied. He was certainly passive, though.
He was standing there at the play of the ball.
Armau. Centre of the ground. Now for DeBellick. Oh, that's a wayward pass. It's gone back, and they still haven't got possession. Aitken's beaten to the ball. The Rooster was hungrier, but there's a knock-on there anyway.
Yeah, and the Dragons are blowing up about the tackle on Jack DeBellin being late. He's just got up now.
Knock on Roosters. We all up, boys?
Let's have a look at it.
Hockey's on.
It's not late, but it certainly hit him at a vulnerable spot and time.
So it's been deemed as a knock on Roosters.
Yeah, sometimes you don't get the reward for your effort. The Roosters there really hustling to get on the loose ball and just come up with a little bobble. The Dragons had played all the bad football but end up with 6 again.
It's Thompson, try scorer. Scored at the 19th minute. Widdop converting. Sims playing it in the centre of the ground. Leeson Armau to take it ahead just a couple of metres further. Wairia Hargreaves puts him away as they come back for Widdop. Now for McCrone, then for Dugan, now for Aitken. And he's to play the ball 40 out. Here on the western side of the ground. Frizzell wants it. Put in a couple of strong efforts, Tyson Frizzell. Nearly to the 30-metre line he is. Now it's McCrone. Puts a little kick over in Tupou. When he leaves the ground to mark the ball, it's impossible to reach him.
There wasn't a good kick there from Josh McCrone. All the advantage to Tupou. An easy take by his standards as the Roosters now. It's a good driving run from Michael Gordon outside his own 30, carrying defenders.
So Tetevano play the ball just outside the 40-metre line. Dragons have won 7 of the past 9 Anzac Day matches. Pearce puts a mighty kick down there. Oh, it's bounced on the point. Come back to Frizzell. He fends away from Napa. He fends away from another. Manu it was. It was good work by the second rower.
Well, it's a big bounce on a wet field. Cleared everyone's head.
Nightingale hops across the 40-metre line. Gets it away on going to ground. Dugan has a run.
Yeah, we've seen a few late offloads and hard to defend against because the defence is already retreating.
Post-contact meters. 222, the Dragons way up there. So here they are, St George Illawarra with McDonald playing it on the 30-metre line. Goes to De Bellin, then to Widdop. He cuts out Thompson. It's out with Laffey. Got the arm free, looking to dump it. But he now plays the ball and Nightingale awkwardly passed the ball. Armau runs hard. You saw the head of Guerra rocking back on his shoulders. 5 gone, and here's Thompson again.
Hand over.
This is a changeover.
Hand over, boys. Ted's here, Jack. No. Hand over, mate.
They're just powering away, these Dragons forwards.
Dylan, hold Jack.
These grandstands absolutely packed to capacity. Not so much at the ends, but on the sides. They're right up in the bleachers. It's Tupou. Comes outside the 20-metre line. 6-0, 33 minutes of the game gone. It is flying by. High shot.
Yeah. Ferguson got driven back in the first tackle of this set, but the Kane Evans run was really important, and it set up the next 2. The final one of which sees Boyd Cordner early side a penalty after being hit high by Tariq Sims.
One ref mode for the half, fellas.
3 penalties all. All the Roosters' penalties have been coming out of their own end of the field. Dragons, the discipline just drops a little bit there and they give them a march up the other end. The Roosters haven't capitalised as yet.
There's Napa. 25 out. Pearce, Tetevano. He's a likely type. Now they come back to the middle. Pearce has a go. Pearce. Short.
Mitchell. Play the ball on.
Up against the pad.
Play the ball.
Referee standing over him. Calling milking. Keary gets it away. Penny Dow. Had to be a swamping tackle, and it was from McDonald. Now they go back to Keary. He puts a kick in. It is retrieved there by Widdop, and he's gonna be taken.
Well, he didn't hesitate there, Gareth Widdop. There was no thought of trying to let the ball go dead. I think he thought when he caught it that he would be able to get his way back into the field to play, but he just couldn't get enough traction on the slippery surface. Pearce so close in. I'd say it's only the pads there that have stopped him. And there's the kick from Carey. We'd have grabbed it quickly, get down low. I've just watched him a little bit lately. He pulled at his groin when he had a kick. Now he's feeling for his knee, so he's not 100% at the moment. There he's holding his knee. He's a bit limpy on his right groin.
So, line dropout taken by Dugan, and it's gone 52 metres on the fly. There's Napa. Dived on by Thompson. Evans is out there in 16. He came into the side to replace Mattison. Now Pearce. Inside run from Cordner. And he ran into a real ham sandwich there. Put down by McInnes and Sims. And now Keary, like a missile, through the air. Pass by Friend. Out to Napa. Napa will play the ball. 5 metres out, 5 tackles gone. It's come to Pearce. He stabs it in, and McDonald cleans it up.
Yeah, nice play. Very patient.
Just wait.
Only 1 try scored in this match so far. Been very, very closely contested. And some nice patience here from the Roosters. Firstly, Keary, and now Pearce have been able to get a repeat set, kicking the ball into the in goal.
And in the previous set, we saw what Mitchell Pearce does better than any other halfback in the competition. That is straighten and run. Nearly took him in under the posts.
No rush.
As you get a vista of a wonderful crowd here, getting their money's worth as well. Really tight, tough contest as we get close to the break.
Mate, there'll be no.
It got very dark here, and the lights started to take effect early, but we've just had a burst of sunshine come across. Look at that. Beautiful, right across the top. If you're sitting up there, you can't see a thing now. The sun's in your eyes.
Still complaining, eh?
Hey? Well, we're on the other side. We're fine.
I understand.
But it got very dark. The lights really started to take effect. It looked beautiful, and then there it is. Look at this. See, the girls aren't watching the footy. They don't care. They're talking about other things.
So night turns to day, and that's a big line dropout. Dylan Napa goes galloping back 38 metres out from the Dragons line now. Now for Kane Evans. And let's have a look at the top 5 in defence. Jake Friend out in front.
He's just made a complete mess of that. Very rare to see Jake Friend make such a simple error, trying to get out of dummy half too quickly and not taking the football.
Well, he does so much work. He plays out his 80 minutes every week. There's got to be little signs of fatigue at different times. Only 3 minutes out from half-time, 6-point lead. I wouldn't mind betting that Gareth Widdop maybe marches them down the middle of the field here and takes a point for a 7-point lead at half-time. Although our statistician David Middleton said it's a hoodoo to kick a field goal in the first half.
Nightingale. Evans in low originally, and Cordner and Friend coming over the top. Tarek Sims play the ball about 8 metres on his own side of the halfway, just outside that 40-metre line. Here's de Bellin getting it up to halfway, met by Guerra, Napa and Evans. And here is Leeson Armau reaching the red line on the other end of the halfway, and he's knocked on.
Clock's on, guys. Mitch, you on the clock here. We're not stopping it again, mate.
If you're a Telstra mobile customer,
we're not stopping
you can
it again
stream the NRL live.
Hang on, Ray. They want to get Gareth Widdop off, but he can't because it's a scrum. Sorry to interrupt.
You're right.
It's in.
But he's not right.
So they've got to persevere with him. There's the NRL official app created by Telstra. You can stream the NRL live, fast and data-free on a Telstra mobile plan. We'll go after Telstra.
Yeah, he's gone with it. He's off the other side. He's limping on a knee. And, as I say, he hurt his groin a little bit earlier.
Well, 38 minutes into the game. St George have lost one of the big men, one of the, when I say that, the big marquee players, Gareth Widdop.
Well, young Kurt Mann comes onto the field, and I'll be interested to see whether or not he just fills in at 5'8", because I think that's his best position.
It's de Bellin giving it back on the inside to Armour, who probably wishes that he hadn't, because he got hammered immediately by a couple of the big Roosters forwards.
That's a really bad sign that they couldn't get rid of through to half-time, which was under 2 minutes.
So here come the Dragons, and this is McCrone. He got the ball away. McDonald's got a chance. Ball is lost.
First knock on. First knock on. We've got a scrum. It's tackle 4.
Very, very close here. This is where the wingers have just got to show their experience. Sometimes you feel as though if I just stretch out one more little bit, I can get there, but then you run the risk of bobbling the ball and turning it over. Brad Fittler.
Yeah, the early prognosis on Gareth Widdop is a grade 1-2 medial. So that's not good news for the Dragons. It was done in when he was defending on his in-goal. So grade 1-2 medial.
Really good footwork there from the big winger, McDonald on Michael Gordon. It was Dylan Nampa who came across and saved the day as the early kick is covered by Dugan.
It's a half-time siren in the background, but Dugan's not done yet. Dugan comes back now. He's done. Unless he was taken late. But that's not going to happen. And we go to half-time with just the one try. A try and a goal. Dragons leading at half-time 6-0. There's Widdop in the back there. What a blow.
Yeah, this kid Kurt Mann, the one there on screen, this young man, who was, when I first met him, he was up at Newcastle. I actually tried to sign him as a young 5'8". He went down to Melbourne, hoping to play 5'8", played mainly wing, centre and fullback. He came to the Dragons, they put him at fullback and he's played on the wing and he's played in the centres. In the NRL, I don't think we've actually seen him take up the number 6 position. If he's gone there now that Widdop's gone, I think this is his best position. It's a big order today, coming in cold like this, but he's a very talented young player, and I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a really good fist of it.
Well, the way he's lined up, Gus, it looks as though he probably will play at 5'8", because Tim Laffey was inside him and is now going outside him, so
yep.
He gets that opportunity as the Roosters bring it back through Tuca.
It'll be a while since he's played it, but I think it's his best position long term.
Another shower of rain sweeping across Arlington at the moment. 6-0 in favour of the Dragons at half-time. They've led 6 times this year for 6 victories. Try at the 19th minute for Joel Thompson, converted by Gareth Widdop, who is now out of the game as from the 38th minute. A massive blow. Gus and Peter have just discussed young Kurt Mann. 10 metres out then from the Dragons line. Guerra it was there making the tackle on Nightingale, and this is Laffey able to get it away, and he's just opened up a little bit of a hole for Dugan. So Josh plays the ball, and now Joel Thompson. Ian Dugan look as though they might go to the same barber. Here's McDonald reaching the halfway. The dummy half is McInnes, former Rabbit. De Bellin. He's got the DNA to be anything, Jack De Bellin. Down she goes to Tupou. He's outside the 10-metre line. Ball comes out, dived on by the Dragons, by McInnes. And a chance, they're only 11 out. McCrone sweeps it out to Aitken, not to be taken lightly. He'll play it a few metres out, and a charge for the line by McDonald, but they've got him held up. Right over there in that northeastern corner. So So the ball deep back to McCrone. Now for Sims. 4 tackles gone. They're out on the left, waving, and then McCrone, and here it comes from Mann. The ball was taken by Laffey as he was skidding along the ground. Now they show him the sideline.
No way. And shot clock starts.
Well, they've done well there, the Roosters. And this is Daniel Tupou looking to get his arm free and offload on his own line. That is the last thing in the world you need. A couple of metres out when you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, some talk around the Roosters camp today. Speaking to a few of them, I think young Tupou is about to re-sign. He's off contract at the end of the year.
Heads in. Clock's off. Here we go. Out.
So Pearce feeding the scrum. Came out the back to the hooker. And there's Gareth Widdop watching the game back in the dressing sheds. It'll be interesting to hear what the diagnosis is and what the prognostication might be for his length of time out. Here's Napa.
Yeah, well, medial strains can be minor, or it can be anything up to a couple of weeks, but just whether or not he's torn a meniscus there and requires surgery or other treatment.
Guerra. It's a shame it happened on his 150th first-grade game occasion. They kick into the corner. McDonald's fingers seem to come in contact with it.
Off St George.
And it's off the Dragons. The Roosters will certainly set up for an attack here.
Well, he's an obvious target, is Daniel Tupou. You see Nene McDonald in the touch, ruled to have been the one to have put it over the sideline off his hands.
Well, Nene McDonald played here at the Roosters, so they would well know his capabilities in the air. And he's marking one of the best today.
So are we coming up to the point in time where the Roosters can draw level on the scoreboard? Jake Fred. Kane Evans. There's the line, 7 away. Behind one, to Pearce, Cordner. He sort of ran with Napa, giving him some cover on his right side. Now Friend, that's Tedavano. 2 speeds him, stop and go. Now Pearce, long and deep. And Manu. Joseph Manu plays the ball. Pearce then gets a kick in, charged down by the Dragons. Got a ricochet back there to Thompson.
Well, that's why it's no fluke that the Dragons are on top of this competition.
Wait.
Some terrific defence. And then on tackle 5, real hustle to get to Mitchell Pearce and diffuse his 5th tackle option. Look at the hustle here. Look at them getting forward. Sims, de Bellin. That's the best way to defend a kick. Stop it coming off the boot.
Let's take a comment sideline, Brad. All right, so we're not going to take a comment from Brad.
No, he's got nothing to say.
He gets really into his work, gets hypertensive. Sounds like there's something there now, actually, but Nightingale, little gremlin in the line. And McCrone gets a kick down. Gordon flashing across there and bringing it in.
Very nice, Ray. Gordon flashing. Now he's getting dragged, but he hustled because he knew the kick was from inside the 40.
So Ferguson tries to break the Dragons' defence. Now de Bellin, he's come away limping.
Yeah, he flew into that. He might have just got a cork.
Here's Evans.
He's trying to run it out.
Friend. Tupou. Running for about 10 metres. Cordner on the back of it.
Well, Ferguson's in trouble in behind play as well.
I think they must have clashed knees.
Pearce rakes a kick, long and low. Well taken there by Nightingale. 35 out from his own line. Aitken.
Well, if you like your football tight and tough, this is for you.
Ooh, that's got to be a penalty.
Play it on the mark.
Yeah.
Well, he's gone down Ferguson as the Roosters get the advantage of a mistake from the Dragons.
You can see it, their knees clash, see? Into the inside of de Bellin's knee and the outside of Ferguson's knee. You watch this, the two knees come together. Clack, bang. It's an awful feeling.
Wake him up here.
Great effort by Tapes to go back and find it as quickly as they did.
Brilliant.
The clash of the knees. So here's the Roosters. Manu.
Got a big right foot step, this boy.
They're just inside 40. Evans. Plenty of talk out there. Not all that complimentary either. Pearce. That's Tedovano again. 18 out. There's your wide shot. That's where we are. Pearce. Keary around the back. Kenny down. Able to unload Cordner. Cordner's taken 10 out. They're going to have to hold strong here, the Dragons. There's trouble. Pearce. 2 out on 5. Friend puts a little grubber in. Ferguson. Never mind about the knee. He put it down with his hands. They're okay. Ferguson
Well, we just need
and
to
Friend.
He's onside, Ray. We've got to try.
Confirm onside, thanks, mate. Then grounding, please.
It took a little while to kick this, Jake Friend. There's a fair bit going on around the play-the-ball area, and he's very flat.
We said at this point that Blake Ferguson was onside. Aiden Guerra was passive.
Timed it perfectly. And that looked to be the way the try was going to come for them from the kick, because the defence had been fantastic. But the kick has brought them undone. And that's great timing from Blake Ferguson to stay onside.
They're just checking if his foot
Blake Ferguson has taken possession of the ball cleanly and grounds the ball in the in goal. Have a decision and going to the board.
He slid a fair way before he grounded the ball. They were just worried his foot got to the line, but he's got it in time, and that's the one that the Roosters wanted.
6-4. What happened to the knee? So, never mind about the clash of the knees. Ferguson was on deck. He and Jake Friend, they knew the plan, and he arrived, presented himself at exactly the right time. That little delay by Friend, probably all part of the structure.
They needed something, the Roosters. They could have got frustrated because the defence of the Dragons has been wonderful. They found a way to unthread it. Now Michael Gordon looking to even things up after the 50-minute mark.
Third highest point scorer in the league. The highest, of course, back in the sheds. Gareth Widdop. Gordon. Oh, he's missed it. Oh. It doesn't happen very often for Michael Gordon from that proximity. Brad Fittler sideline.
Yeah, going back to the tries, a brilliant kick by Jake Friend. But if we pause it here, just watch the covert actions from Blake Ferguson. The left winger turns in, Fergo gets on his outside. sneaks in behind his winger. That was awesome.
He had something to say there, Freddie.
Yeah, he's back.
I love covert. Before goals in covert, he was in army mode.
There's Tedavano. Pulled down inside his own 40. 6-4. Dragons in front.
He hasn't kicked well this year by his standards, Michael Gordon, but you don't expect him to miss in that position. It could prove costly as the Roosters through Keary.
Oh! Gordon
there.
was running at very close quarters, and to be simple about it, he really hit him too hard. Gordon had enough on his plate as it was. It's Evans, and this is Keary, and there's Cordner. He's got McCrone bothering him. He's still entitled to catch it, I suppose.
Yeah, it's because the ball player's going across field and running towards his forward there, and he wasn't really even looking at Cordner. He was trying to get the attention of the defender. Just needed to straighten up there or let the ball go out the back earlier. It was never on for Cordner.
We're coming from Allianz Stadium. The Anzac Day match on the 9 network. Grand final was played here for about a decade. Be good to get the crowd to see whether or not this is a record Anzac Day crowd at this venue. Oh, Tedavano and Packer. Neither gave an inch. And McCrone's pass to Frizzell, just a little bit suspect. They're 20 out from the line. This is the last. St George Illawarra with McCrone. Kicks across, looking for Nightingale. Ferguson came over the top. The bounce is down for Thompson.
Still the last.
Gone away to Mann. Still the last. He's got to kick it. He does that. Oh, it's gone into touch.
Shot got stopped. Clock's on, boys. Comes in here.
6-4. 54 minutes gone.
There's an interesting point you brought out about Michael Gordon missing that goal, and I've been saying it virtually since the start of the season. He was such a reliable goal kicker, but this year I can only assume he's got injury or he's had an injury that's affected his run up a little bit, because he hasn't been hitting the ball anywhere near as sweetly as previous years, and I think his percentage this year will bear that out. He's just stopping a little bit on the ball, and he either pushes it right or pulls it badly left.
Well, on the subject of goal kicking, with no Gareth Widdop out there, being reliably informed by David Middleton as
Back of the head, Russell. Same as
in the
first
play the
half.
ball area against the Dragons. And the only other Dragons player to have kicked this year so far, Leeson Armour. We're not expecting him to take over the responsibilities from here on in for the rest of this game. I don't think.
It'd be like waiting for a nightmare. Brad Fittler, a comment sideline.
I was just talking to the Roosters doctor, and he opened his hand, and he had 3 teeth, and they belonged to Dylan Nupper. So Dylan Nupper's playing without 3 teeth at the moment. I think Josh Dugan will be goal kicking for the Dragons.
Okay, so Dugan to kick for the Dragons, and Napa to look for a dentist. He's played the ball. Here's Tedavano. He's a busy footballer. Zane Tedavano. They're getting up inside the 30-metre line now, Aguero.
They look likely, the Roosters.
So Manu. Long and high. Pearce exposed. And then Kenny Dow comes back and around. He's done the semicircle. 5 gone now. Middle of the ground. 10 out. Good! Pearce. Oh, beautifully taken over there. It's Aitken.
You're not going to get a quick play the ball when you drag him away. Play the ball, tackle 1. No, he wasn't tackled.
Great defence again by the Dragons. I get the feeling if the Dragons win it, they're going to win at 6-4.
Dugan in the middle of a trio of Roosters who'd all left the ground pretty much. Really hit Dugan. He's come away clutching at his head. Here's McDonald inside the 20-metre line. fast and furious Napa. There's an arm there. That's what they're looking for, an arm as well as the shoulder. So McCrone. Trainer is still with Dugan. Ball taken by Gordon, back on his 30. Now Ferguson. And Thompson comes out of nowhere and smashes into the ground.
Oh, there's some big contact in this game.
Manu. 17 is out there for the Dragons. Hame Saleh. Third game in the top level. I think he debuted down at Lotto Land against Manly. It's Kenny Dow. Friend drives it into vacant territory. It's sitting down. No. Oh, gee, Pearce came sliding out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Yeah, we've got a penalty back here on the 20-metre line.
Well, if that was in the soccer, he might have got red carded.
Well, he would have. Once you bare your studs, you're off.
He'd have been straight off.
So Dugan. HIA, so he copped a bit of it in the head.
No, that was from previously where he got the
knock.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
But that's ridiculous. Just because you get hit in the head doesn't mean you got concussion. You rub it because it hurts. Doesn't mean you got concussion. You've got to go up for a test. That's ridiculous.
DeBellin. McCrone. Frizzell.
Kane Evans just got Jack DeBellin again, who got up appealing to the referee.
DeBellin is bent over in back play. The Dragons find a little bit of a comfort zone. His man keeps it alive. And that's Saleh shoveling the ball down to McInnes.
Last tackle.
Nightingale for McCrone. Now for Frizzell. Puts a kick in for Aitken. Taken by Gordon. And then he's driven back by Mann and McDonald. 12 metres out. That's DeBellin, isn't it?
No, that's Frizzell this time. There are a lot of players getting up gingerly after some of the contact out there.
And Napa got the bumper bar out the front just in time. Taken by Sims.
Well, without Widdop, the St George attack is just stymied a little bit. And as I said earlier, if they're going to win this, they're probably going to have to win at 6-4 or 8-6 or something like that. I'm not sure they've got another try in them. Where the Roosters, you feel like another one is brewing.
Wairia Hargreaves. Taken by Thompson. Packer. Right foot kick from Pearce. And straight down to Nightingale, who's dropped into fullback. He's run 20 metres back towards the 40. Penalty goes Dragons. Hand on the ball. Now Kane Evans, his hit on DeBellin. That's DeBellin with the ball, and he's well and truly unloaded. And here's Frizzell, same bloke. Brad, a comment sideline.
Last week, Mary McGregor took off Jack DeBellin for 16 minutes and North Queensland scored 22 points. He's been off for 6 minutes and the Roosters scored 4 points. Mary's not taken any chances today.
Saleh. Crone. Here's DeBellin. Just outside the 20-metre line.
Well, they've had to push DeBellin to 5'8". Kurt Mann's come back to the wing because Dugan's off.
That's Aitken with the ball. Desperately wants to get rid of it. The ball on the ground, picked up by Gordon. It was a hell of a pickup. It was almost a hint of a knock-on. The crowd, well, they're probably on about the 10. Penalty now. This will bring the Roosters out of their red zone.
We're inside the final quarter of this game.
Yeah, the Dragons, they've got Nightingale at fullback. DeBellin looks as though he's playing 5'8", and Kurt Mann has now resorted to the wing.
Waria Hargreaves then. 31 metres away. Now Liu. 20-metre line just in front of him. Pearce. Tedavano. Carey. Long ball. Ferguson's heading for the corner.
They've pulled it
back. They've called it back. They've called it back for forward.
Wow.
It's a big ball. I know it is, mate. Shot clock starts.
Listen to the crowd.
Well, it was brought on by the rushing defence. The man throwing the ball stopped in his tracks.
Give yourself space, Shorty. Shorty, give yourself space.
I think it's a pretty fair call. It did look to be, you watch this, Carey throws it. Well, it's certainly floated forward. Whether or not it's gone back or forward out of the hands, but it's certainly floated forward.
Yeah, there's no question about from the time it left the fingers to the time that it reached Ferguson's hand, it travelled forward. That's not necessarily a forward pass. It's out of the hands. That's all we're interested in. How did it come out of the hands?
Well, it's exaggerated because Keary was stopped by the defender, so he didn't run with the ball.
Brad, a comment from you.
Well, the man that was right in line with Chris Butler, the touch judge, was my man Mark Riddell on the sideline, and he was going to say, was it forward?
I thought it was forward.
It was forward.
That's a pretty good trick. Is Mark Riddell working for 2GB, and Fittler's co-opted his services at the same time.
I've never seen that before.
No, I have a story to tell, but it's too long. Here's Frizzell. There's too much happening. Macron, and it's found the touchline. I was doing a test match in France once with Tiger Black next to me, the late Tiger Black, dear friend. And I had a co-commentator with me. I can't think who it was. Suddenly I turned to him and asked him a question, and Tiger had stolen him. Tiger's doing about a 5-minute interview with him. So it has been done before, but that was 1975.
I worked with Tiger.
Did you?
I did.
He didn't work very hard.
No, he didn't. For a month, we went round to bowling clubs because he was a we went round to bowling clubs and had drinks with his friends.
That's right. Yeah. Talking of St George, we're talking of one of the great St George personalities. Dear friend.
I think his son Peter's still on the board there.
Yes, he is.
Great people. He was great, Tiger Black. One of the best months or the funniest months of my life. My job was to drive Tiger Black around to see his mates.
Waria Hargreaves.
We never sold a thing.
I know. So here's Keary. Oh, he looked to go in and went out. Beautiful work, Keary. But beautiful tackle, Aitken on Cordner.
Penalty to the Roosters.
Penalty to the Roosters. Tackled man off the ball.
We're seeing a few penalties coming just at this juncture. Both sides are into each other and have been all game. Just feel like the Roosters have got one more in them. I can't feel a try out of the Dragons.
This is the time. 15 minutes to go. A bit of football. The penalty for the man tackled on the inside, Michael Gordon, by Russell Packer.
Here's Waria Hargreaves again. Inside the 20. And we're at the 15-minute mark. And here's Taukeaho. 10 metres out, 12 metres to 22 metres in. So they're in the middle now. Pearce, Keary, got it away. Oh, he had to shut him down, and he did.
Great tackle.
Kenny Dowell and Tupou were unmarked. So they come across and Pearce is in.
No, I think he's lost it, Ray.
He's dropped it, has he?
I think he might have.
Tackle for
Well, he doesn't look like a bloke that scored a try.
Wow. He just couldn't regather it.
That was the one. There's not a player in sight. Oh.
As he tries to
Has he got
regather
it?
it,
He might.
Oh, hang on.
As soon as Mitchell Pearce loses possession, however, regains possession before it contacts the ground.
It's a try.
It's a try.
It's a try.
So we got it right the first time, but he has been able to re-grip the ball.
Well, get him to sell it better for us.
Right under the black dot. Right under the high diddle-diddle. Oh, that was a heart attack try for Mitchell Pearce and this healthy crowd of Rooster supporters here to match strides with the Dragons today and tonight.
You can feel it coming.
It was like that helicopter ride we did with the Gold Coast. I said to you, it's not safe until we're on the ground, Gussie Ball.
Well, he was the least celebratory.
Exactly. What are we going to do to make him smile?
I'll never forget that day. I'll never forget that helicopter ride. I'll never forget you.
Michael Gordon raises the flags. They've been chasing all day and now they lead. It's 10-6 Roosters, Brad.
Now, every time we see that try, all we're going to talk about is how we regain the ball and the bobble. What we're not going to talk about is the courage it takes to hit the line that hard, charging between Russell Packer and Joel Thompson. If any one of those forwards spot him coming, his night's nearly over, Mitchell Pearce. What a show of courage.
It was a tenacious run, there's no doubt about it.
Was it Liu who put him through?
Peter, I'm not quite sure.
It was a really nice pass. Normally it's the other way around. Well, I think it might have been the number 10 with the beard who put him in and puts the side in front for the first time.
It could have been the wailing wall. He was going to run through it. Gritted his teeth. Here's Liu. 5 metres short of halfway. The tacklers were Packer and Thompson. Pearce again. Guerra. Few metres into Dragon territory. They've done it for almost a half a football without Widdop.
Well, they're under pressure because they've got to manufacture a try, and they haven't looked like it since Widdop left the field.
The 40-metre line for them now. They've scored the most points coming into this round, 191 after 7 rounds. It took until round 15 last year to score as many. But have they got one in their pocket without Gareth Widdop? That's Soleil. It's an awful-looking kick. Bounces away, down inside 10. And Mitchell Pearce has collared.
Well, again, that's a byproduct of no Gareth Widdop being out there, losing their way on the last tackle there. Putting up. We have had some very unusual finishes this round. Not quite sure what we're going to get in this last 10 minutes as Tupe does well. Beats 2 and 3.
Waiting on the other side for him, though, was Packer. Taukei'aho, corner, up to the halfway line, right in the middle of the ground. 10.5 minutes to go. Roosters haven't won this for a couple of years. In fact, they haven't won very many at all in the last 9. What did I tell you? They've won 2 Anzac Day clashes in their last 9. We've got a new Anzac Day record crowd too, which is great news. 40,000 864. Well done, crowd, because we did have some nasty weather developing just before the game. Wonderful sight.
Well, there were 20,000 of them here early to watch the under-20s game. And it's so great to come to football when you've got crowds sitting in the grandstand.
All good,
Well, they started a bit of a trend, the Melbourne Storm, by trapping the ball in the second row. I've seen another one this weekend draw a penalty, and that one nearly did with the Dragons. The Roosters coming up offside but retreating and allowed to do so by the referee.
Both these sides with a 5-day turnaround coming into next weekend, and their opponents the same amount of time with their match today. De Belin on the 40-metre line. McCrone throws the ball away. Aitken, has he got the ball away in a backward position? Yes, he did. Frizzell's throwing a pass to Guerra, who's lost the ball. Now the St George players put the boot to it.
It's a knock on Roosters.
No, poor ball control. Shot clock starts.
Knock on Roosters. Here's a chance for the Dragons. Dugan's ready to come back on. That could be telling. They need to get him out there. They need a try. Aiken like this kid. Frizzell throws this anywhere and it ends up with 2 Roosters. Guerra gets hold of it and runs. Armau's got him from behind and the ball is punched out. Now, people will claim that that's not a knock-on against Guerra. I reckon it's a knock-on every day of the week. I don't care if someone contacts the ball or not. It's your job to hold on to it.
So here they come. Quick hands. St George Illawarra with about 8 metres to go to the try line. Play on the western side. Gone from Nightingale. Now to Thompson. Got their try. There they are. That's how close they are. And then De Belin away to Armau. So Leeson will play it. Try line you can see. McInnes. De Belin. Got it back to Packer. And he shoveled it away to McInnes. It's gone to Armau. It's got to find the men outside. Had enough forwards handling the ball.
They can't get Dugan on the field.
So here's McCrone. Puts a kick in. They played at it. So he's in an onside position, the man that dives on the ball.
They just ran out of ideas there. They've got no fullback, they've got no 5'8". So it all comes from the dummy half and the halfback. Now they've conceded a penalty out of frustration. Dugan's finally got onto the field. They needed him in that set of 6.
And this will be for markers not being square. And
I think he's got him for a flop, Ray.
yeah,
instead.
I think you're right, Pete.
Didn't get through that far.
Yeah, I don't know whether he was giving that indication or whether it was a square, but it's more likely the flop.
Well, we've got Paul Carter out there now, who's about to take the tap on for Jake Friend in the final 6.5 minutes.
Pulled down by Tim Laffey. Now Wairia Hargreaves. He might have got buckled underneath there, the tackle of McInnes. Now Liu. 6 minutes remaining. Tauke Aho. Gordon on the fly. Carter. Down to the 20-metre line. Paul Carter. Now Luke Keary. Rubber kicks. It should sit up for McDonald. It did, but can he get back? No, he can't. It's advantage the Roosters.
Great kick there by Keary. Off the outside of the foot. Gets it on the ground early and gets it spinning back towards the chasers. A really difficult pickup for the men at the back for the Dragons. Looks wide, kicks it on the angle, and the ball starts to swing away. Nene McDonald gets it, but there's a swarm of Roosters there to get it. A short kick from the Dragons, out on the full.
So the penalty goes 10 metres out in front of the uprights.
Yep.
And on that previous play from the kick from Luke Keary, Mitchell Pearce was at dummy half and made the tackle in the in-goal area. A great endeavour. Excellent work from both the halves. This is the dropout, which, well, it spirals into the cheer girls. And Michael Gordon points to the posts.
It's been a solid game, hasn't it? Really physical. Two forward packs have ripped into each other. No fear, no hesitation. Hasn't been a great deal of expansive football.
Ironically, I was looking at the rankings according to the betting odds. The Dragons are number 1 going into this game. The Roosters down at number 5. But the Bagmen have got the Roosters at a shorter quote than the Dragons. $9 as opposed to 12.
Well, they came into this game as favourites too, despite the fact the Dragons are leading the competition and had lost only once this season. Gordon to give them a 6-point break. He won't miss this one. And now the Dragons will have to score to force us to extra time.
Well, you would imagine a short kick-off, despite the fact we just won a short dropout, go awry. See if the Dragons set up for this to try and get the football back from the restart.
Well, Michael, I told you at the top of our telecast, he's playing this match in honour of his great uncle, Len Seifleet.
They're going deep.
So he's getting every second out of it and making hay while the sun shines.
To justify taking those 2 points, which are always going to do, they need to get to their kick here, the Roosters.
Tupou, 20 metres out from his own line. Carter. Now Taukeaho. Second half completions.
Oh, that's forward. He's hit the arm here of Paul Carter and forced the error.
Well, here's a chance, and the difference with this attacking set of 6 is that Dugan is now back on the field. He wasn't there last time.
It's a clever play there. I think it was Tim Laffey. Marker getting up, standing up out of dummy half, taking a step, and the marker hitting his arm, not touching the football.
Right, let's go, boys. Pick it up.
Well, the Dragons, as you can see, have got a back line, including that man, Josh Dugan. They're spread right out. 45-degree angle. Nightingale through Macrone. They find Dugan. Playing the ball on the 30-metre line. Kenny Dow and Carter getting the job done. Arm out.
Well, I'd be pushing up with Paul Vaughan here as well, because he can get something going as they come wide instead.
So it's out the back from Thompson. It was touched there by Manu. And they've started the tackle count again. And this is Mann who gets it away this time to Laffey. Wondering, do they know the tackle count has started again? This is Nightingale. They're playing as though they don't. Here's Laffey with the ball inside the 20.
Well, that'll be the 0 tackle.
Yeah.
So De Bellin out the back, Macrone. And here's a run from Frizzell. 9 metres out from the line. Playing it to McInnes. Here's Vaughan. Squashed there by Carter. Got him at precisely the right time. Now a little grubber by McInnes. It's gone away to McDonald. He shrugs off Carter. He gets rid of Kenny Dow. He takes them on. He's over the line.
Oh my God.
Nene McDonald, I think he's got a try. They do too. They do too.
And now we've got a conversion by Josh Dugan, we are told, to try and send us into golden point.
What an effort by Nene McDonald.
That's an unbelievable individual try. I've got no idea why they kicked on that tackle. The ball ricochets away. How many does he beat here? Harvey Norman replay.
That was
1,
Carter.
2, 3, 4. Over the top of them again. And on his head, grounds the ball in the in goal. That's just will and determination, and over he goes.
Well, this match, this Anzac Day match, it just brings up the unexpected all of the time. 2 years ago, we had a 35-minute break waiting for hail and rain to abate. The Dragons now have got this kick to level and take us to what will be a golden point game.
Do you reckon he's done much practice, Josh Dugan?
Well, I reckon he would have to practice all the time, but did he get out of bed this morning thinking, I've got to kick a goal to get us to golden point? And I'd say that was the last thing on his mind when he packed his bag for footy today.
Well, we're going to get a great view of this inside the final minute.
Widdop has been gone for exactly 40 minutes. Dugan to level. It looks okay.
He's got it.
He's got it easy.
Oh, what a kick.
He's got it easy.
What a kick. Show that again from behind the angle. Show it again.
I said we'd had some unusual finishes this weekend.
Bang.
There's another one.
Straight down the middle. Never looked like missing. That's a big time play. That's a big time play.
Glad you signed that contract, Gareth, when you did. Josh Dugan, he's just banged one over with all the pressure in the world on him. 12 all. 40 seconds of the game, real time remaining. Vaughan pushing ahead with those tree trunks. He's still going. He's advanced the football 15 metres. Now Armour. "15 seconds to go to the 80-minute mark. Man dodging, bobbing, ducking, weaving. 40 metres out from the Roosters line. This is it. Vaughan takes it to ground. The siren, it's the end of regular time.
Well, that's beautiful. We get to watch a little bit more. What drama this game throws up. Every time we come to this event on this day, we get unbelievable drama. And Dugan has just provided a magic moment at the back end of this game. Watch Widdop. Yes!
They look a bit stunned, the Roosters. I don't think they can quite believe what just happened.
Well, it's always the advantage with the team that forces golden point going into golden point. It just seems that the team that gets to golden point and comes from behind to do it is the one that's got the momentum going into the next period.
Well, you know who feels much better about themselves?
We look to field goal kickers now. Now, Mitchell Pearce has got a terrible record going to field goals. I think he's missed about his last 19 attempts. I'm not sure he's ever kicked one.
I'll give them to you if you like.
All right, go.
For the Dragons, 2017, one, Gareth Widdop.
He gets a call.
2016, one, Gareth Widdop.
He's not there.
I understand that. Back in 2015,
Heads it is, mate. What do you want to do?
Benji
We'll see
Marshall,
which way you're going,
3.
mate.
And Gareth Widdop, 3.
Which way are you going to run? So you guys are going to kick that way.
No. Well, their golden point record, the Dragons, 13 matches, 4 wins, 8 losses. There's a draw thrown in there somewhere. Now the Roosters, their golden point record, 10 games, 4 wins, 4 losses, couple of draws. Field goals. This year none, last year 1 by Jackson Hastings. He's not there either.
Hey.
Brad, a comment from you.
Well, Tyson Frizzell won the toss and elected to run the same way. Now that wind hasn't changed. There's about a 15-20k breeze behind the Roosters, so they're going to come out of trouble. They're going to receive the ball. They're going to come out of trouble and get a decent kick away. I was talking to the Dragons bench before Josh Dugan kicked the goal, and I asked had he been practicing. They said yesterday.
Yeah.
What?
Well, it's one thing to practice, but it's another thing to be mentally ready to take a kick like that at a moment like that.
Stay behind.
And it's not easy when you're not kicking regularly to do it.
He's a big game player, obviously.
Well, that was a big moment. He just came through with flying colours.
So here we go into the first 5 of extra time. 15 games completed in Anzac Day clashes between these two sides. The Dragons have won 10, the Roosters 5. Vaughan then brings it away to meet Taukeaho.
I told you I didn't want to tip against either of these teams.
DeBellin.
And it may well be, they won't be split in the next 10 minutes.
Vaughan again just shovels it away to Packer. So 4 tackles gone on the initial set in extra time. McCrone's kick is towering, but Gordon takes it safely and reaches the 20. Friend is back. Now to Ferguson. Just inside the 30-metre line. Tupou winds it up, but is ridden into the ground by McInnes. So they come towards halfway, and Taukeaho tried to run over the top of them in the middle of the ground where we are. Wairia Hargreaves. Now they're 35 out. 5 tackles, this is it. And Keary puts the grubber down to Dugan. And Dugan will play the ball back on the 10.
Yeah, smart play. Pearce was lined up to have a shot from 45 out. Keary called the ball and just dribbled it down towards the try line, which I think was a better play.
Nightingale.
In Golden Point, you must make sure that you don't give away a penalty.
Here's McDonald. What a try. What an individual effort from Nene McDonald, the former Rooster, to get us to this situation with a hell of a lot of help from Josh Dugan. McCrone, a raking kick back into the middle. Ferguson hopes it goes. Is it gonna go? Jim! Flying down the ground was Nightingale.
Well, it gives the Roosters 7 tackles now, and Brad Fittler said the wind's at their back. This will be 0 tackle. That's a big mistake, kicking the ball dead.
So we're on a 7 tackle set.
Good run.
Wind coming down from the northern end.
Another good run.
Cordner gets it back to centre field, but they've only used 2. Now Wairia Hargreaves. Thompson making the tackle with Packer. So Liu runs it Vaughan and Packer.
That's tackle 4.
So they've got one more if they want to use it. And Cordner runs them to the middle of the 20-metre line almost. Here comes the kick. Mitchell's got it away. And he likes it. He likes it. Roosters win by a point. 13-12. Roosters by a point in front of a record crowd for the Anzac Day game here. And the Ferris Ashton Bill Collier Anzac medalist is Mitchell Pearce. What a day. Another very successful event for our rugby league. It's all from here. If you watch it on replay, the big smile, he held it for the field goal, the smile, and a try. It was all brilliant from Pearce.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, these two wonderful rugby league teams seem to year after year produce incredible performances on Anzac Day here at Allianz Stadium. There's been some epic battles over the years, and the 2017 edition of this match will go down as one of the best. A Golden Point extra time thriller with the Roosters prevailing by a point. But ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for both of these teams on an outstanding display of rugby league. The St George Illawarra Dragons and the Sydney Roosters. Joining me on stage for the official presentation, please make welcome the National Rugby League Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Todd Greenberg, the Sydney Cricket Ground and Sports Ground Trust CEO, Mr. Jamie Barclay, RSL State Councillor, Mr. Bill Harrigan, New Zealand RSA President for Canterbury, Mr. Stan Hansen, Director of the Sydney Roosters, Mr. Brian Sampier, Chairman of the St George Illawarra Dragons, Mr. Brian Johnston, and Corporal Mark Donaldson, VC. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to ask Corporal Mark Donaldson to step forward and present the Ashton Collier Spirit of Anzac Medal to our man of the match. And it goes to the Sydney Roosters, Mitchell Pearce.
Firstly, I'd just like to thank the Dragons for a great game. About time we got one up. You guys are normally having this day to yourselves. We've had a lot of losses, so it feels pretty special to get the win. It's early in the year, but we're building nicely. We'll take that good win, but it's bigger than us today. It's for a great cause. We feel proud as players to be able to play on this day. It's a great honour and makes you feel pretty proud. So this is for everyone today and all the soldiers. Thank you.
Congratulations to our man of the match, Mitchell Pearce. A wonderful performance today by the Sydney Roosters halfback. I'd now like to call on the NRL Chief Executive, Mr. Todd Greenberg, and also the Sydney Cricket and Sports Ground Trust CEO, Mr. Jamie Barclay, to present the Anzac Cup to the co-captains of the Sydney Roosters. Please make welcome to the stage Jake Friend and Boyd Cordner.
First of all, I'd just like to thank St George for a massive game. You know, we all love playing on Anzac Day, and you know, we know it's our job to come out and play hard, and that's what you guys did. So thanks for that. Thanks to everyone for coming out, and great work to our boys. Awesome match, and have a nice night.
Once again, congratulations to the Sydney Roosters, also to their co-captains Boyd Cordner and Jake Friend.
He hits it, he's got it!